Hello everyone, welcome back to my garden. This is Janie with Dig, Plant, Water, Repeat. Today I wanted to do a garden tour of my front yard. And you can see here, this is a view of my front yard in November. I live in Zone 9B, Northern California, Davis, which is a suburb of Sacramento. Things are obviously slowing down here. Here you can see my Supertunia Vista bubblegums. And I just posted a video, actually it was my first video about those. You can go back and watch that video to see those a little bit closer. But I'm kind of just going to walk through the front yard, point out some of the plants, talk a little bit about them, and I hope you enjoy. So the first one here is a Shasta daisy, and I just got these at Lowe's. I got them when they were on sale for $10, and they are amazing when they bloom. They do really, really well. Up here is called a Breath of Heaven. That's that bright chartreuse green. It was actually here when we moved in, so I'm not totally familiar with it, but they've been doing so well. You can see a couple of perennials here, some that I've cut back. The lavender, I didn't get around to cutting back in August, so I'm just going to leave it for spring. And then right after that, you can see Supertunia Vista, Supertunia Bordeaux from Proven Winners. And I think that this flower is beautiful, and I think I'm going to plant a lot more of it next season. After that, we have something called Mexican bush sage, or a Salvia Leucantha, I think is how you pronounce it. Anyway, it started blooming in the fall and it was really, really pretty. Up here is a shrub that I actually don't know the name of. I got it at Home Depot. It's purple. In the spring, it's covered in these purple little blooms. I think it's a type of verbena, but I'm not sure. If anyone knows, leave it in the comment section for me. I would forever appreciate it. And you can see right next to that, I have a loropetalum, Chinese fringe flower, and you can see that it's actually starting to bloom. Come January, it's beautiful. It's pink, bright. It's a nice pop of color in the dead of winter. This is a great shrub to have and does really well in our zone, Zone 9. So this one was here, just like the Breath of Heaven, and I have a couple more of loropetalums around. You can see the purple fountain grass up there that's out of control. Here is another Proven Winners Supertunia. This one's Supertunia Vista Paradise. This one did okay. I'm not sure. It just didn't do as well as I thought it would do. Behind there is a Suncredible sunflower from Proven Winners, and you can see all the dead on there, but I think it's kind of interesting. There's a little bit of color still, but I like all the seed heads. Here's another loropetalum, and you can see the bright pink fringes coming. And then after this is Proven Winners Vertigo Pennisetum, and it started off, this giant monster started off as a 4-inch pot, and then it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And I think I'm going to leave this up until January before I cut it back, because I just think it's some really interesting winter interest. We've got some more Shasta daisies, another Breath of Heaven, and then these are my new projects. These I got from heirloomroses.com. This is the Eden Climbing Rose, and my plan is to put in a arch across this little pathway here and have these Eden Climbing Roses climb up it. I saw what I think are Eden Climbing Roses in Santa Barbara at a house, and it was just so beautiful. I'll show you guys some pictures of that in the future. Right here is my plumbago hedge. It's a beautiful blue, and when it's in full bloom, the whole hedge is just bright blue. It's really gorgeous. This hedge was here when we moved in as well, and I keep waffling back and forth on whether or not I want to replace it. So just some more perennials, some blue fescue. Here is Miscanthus cabaret. I'm sure you all watch Garden Answer with Laura, and she always talks about that grass, so I found it on eBay. And then right behind it is a Clematis armandii, and I actually got this as a cutting from a neighbor, a tiny little cutting, and I put it in the spring. And I'm so impressed with it, and I love it, and I can't wait for it to bloom in the spring. Here's some just regular basic geraniums that are getting totally obliterated by the Vertigo Pennisetum, so I think when I cut that back, those will be much happier. And then over here, this part of the garden, I just replaced this summer, so this is brand new. You can see I've already started a little bit of Christmas decorations, so you'll see some of that in the background. But right up against the fence is a flowering maple, and it's called a butylon, I think is how you pronounce it, but it's a really, really pretty flower. And here in zone 9B, it's pretty hot, so this does pretty well in the shade. Right in front of it is a Proven Winners Limelight Prime, and you guys have to see the pink that this plant had this fall. It just turned brown. It was this bright pink, for like a month or something like that. It was absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy that I picked this plant up, and I have another one in front of the other window. A couple of hostas in front, and then right next to the hostas, I have another hydrangea. It's the Tiny Tough Stuff from Proven Winners. Again, you can see I really like Proven Winners. And so I actually haven't seen this one flower yet, but I'm really excited about it. I don't expect it to flower blue just because we have pretty alkaline soil and water, but we'll see. And then here is my current pride and joy. It is just a super basic ivy, nothing special, but I have trellised it, and I like to say espaliered it because I like that word. I think it's fancy. And you can see I just put these eye hooks in my my siding and then attached wire to it. And then as the ivy was growing, I just wrapped it around as time went. And this I put in, last year. I think it's been less than a year that I've had it up. And you can see that the ivy will attach to the wall, but about once a week I run out and I run my hand along underneath and I kind of just rip it off. So I think it's going to be a maintenance project. I know that, but I don't care. I had this blank area in between these two windows, and I just think that this is perfect. I'm planning to add in some lighting to light it up at night, and I think it'll just look so beautiful. So down below that, we have some pulmonaria. Again, this is new, so I haven't seen it bloom yet. I think it blooms in the spring, but it's so happy here. It's probably doubled in size since I planted it. And then right behind that is a Proven Winners Bloomathon Pink Double Reblooming Azalea. You can see I'm showing you this pretty double pink flower right here. And in my area in Davis, California, zone 9, we do have trouble with azaleas, and so I'm planning to add soil acidifier to the area just to keep these azaleas happy, and we'll see how it goes. That's how gardening is. Everything's just trial and error. So right here, I thought would be a perfect place for an evergreen, and the one I chose was Wichita Blue Juniper, and you can see my kids decorated it for Christmas, actually just this morning, and I think it looks pretty cute. There's some lights on there too. Right in front of it, again on that trip to Santa Barbara that my husband and I took for a wedding, we went and saw these beautiful houses, and one of them had these flowers that just smelled so good. They were called heliotrope. Hopefully it'll overwinter. It's kind of borderline for zone 9, but I'm going to try it anyway. Right here I'm showing star jasmine. I really love that cottagey vibe where, the plants are growing up, the vining plants are growing up the house. And so I'm just training it up these posts that I have, and you can see right behind it, I have this big one that I got for Mother's Day. I got this big plant from my family for Mother's Day 2 years ago, and it's just climbed up all the way over. It's just so beautiful. I love it. And in the spring, it's just, you walk by and you get this waft of beautiful jasmine smell. It's just amazing. So as we look down here, these are just basic 6-pack dianthus, nothing special. I just put them in just on a whim, and I was planning to take them out as an annual, and they just keep going. It's color in the yard when there is no other color, so I just haven't had the heart to pull them out. Right there, that big hydrangea is actually a limelight, Proven Winners Limelight, not a Limelight Prime. So it'll be interesting to see the difference. That one is in a little bit more sun, as is another one that you'll see in a little bit. So it'll be really interesting to see. I actually just transplanted it earlier this year, so I'll be interested to see it. This evergreen here that's been potted up, I actually bought this from our local nursery, Green Acres. I don't remember the name of it, but I just decided I wanted the Wichita Blue, and then I never returned it. So I underplanted it with these white violas, and I think it looks kind of cute. Right behind it is another pot with the white violas and purple alyssum. And then when you go over to the other side of the walkway over here, you'll see I have a white hydrangea. I think it's a macrophylla. I can't pronounce it. Sorry. And then you'll just see some other plants here. This is my window box that I just decorated with some branches from my crepe myrtle tree, and then just put some ornaments there. So I can't decide if I like it or not, but I think it looks pretty cute. And then my front door. So turning around, going out the front gate, you'll see that there's leaves everywhere because it's that time of year. And I don't really want to clean them up until the tree has lost all its leaves. So I'll get to that. And you can kind of see this part of my front yard. So you can see the other side of the star jasmine, and then that's a gold dust plant right below it. And then just to the left is another pride and joy I have. I actually got this plant off the clearance rack for $1 from Lowe's, and a woman there said, "Oh, that looks done." But I took it home and I babied it and I took care of it, and it's a Proven Winners Rockin' Fuchsia Salvia, and I just love it. I think it's really pretty. There's that other limelight hydrangea that I was talking about. Again, this one is in a little bit more sun as well, so I'm just going to water it a lot and see what happens. There's some more Supertunia Bordeaux, some more Suncredible sunflowers, and then underneath that pile of leaves is a hedge of lemon coral sedum, which I'm planning to use as like a boxwood hedge. So if you guys know the Cool Flower Method by Lisa Mason Ziegler, she talks about planting in the fall, and these are foxglove camelot mix that I planted from seed. I grew them inside, and then I just planted them up about a month ago, and they are looking fantastic. So I'm really excited about them. I'm interested to see how they're going to do over the winter. I know it's not a new concept, but it was really interesting. Oh, right here, there was a hummingbird. I got distracted. Squirrel. So pretty hummingbird. We get hummingbirds all the time in the front and backyard, and it's just so beautiful. I have to fill those up about once a week, and I just love it. Okay, back to the show. So there's that breath of heaven, and then we're turning over to the this other little garden here. I have some lamium, and then I have some clematis. I don't know the name of it. Another clearance plant I got off Lowe's, but these little plants have been blooming all year, and usually clematis just blooms December, January, but these guys, they just kept going all year. Even in the summer, it was crazy. So really beautiful. Here you can see the Camelot mix foxglove. I grew these from seed last year. So these are biannuals. So this one's still in its first year, and it has one more year. The Camelot mix blooms first year. So that's why these were able to bloom this first year. And then here I'm going to zoom in on another one that's really pretty. Aren't those beautiful? So I'm really excited about planting all those babies on the other side. And I actually have some more babies planted down there. And it's just going to be the sea of foxglove, hopefully. More alyssum and, just another, I don't even know what you call that, a grass that someone gave me. Right here is a Dusty Miller that I actually grew from seed as well. It's actually called the New Look Dusty Miller, and it's from Floret Seed. And it was pretty cool. It's a really robust plant, really beautiful, good filler for cut flowers. But I was just looking it up and saw that she just discontinued that seed. So, I'll link it below, but they don't have it. She doesn't sell it anymore. But Dusty Miller is beautiful. Right here's a foxtail fern. I can't believe how well these are doing. They're just so happy in this place. And again, it's that chartreuse green that I think is really beautiful and adds a pop of color. There's another foxglove. You can see I like foxglove. I think they're really beautiful. And I know they're poisonous, and my kids don't touch them. And, my dog doesn't come out here. So, and I don't have any in the backyard. And then, let's see, down here, these are actually White Wands Veronica from Andrew's Seed, which is Laura from Garden Answers' parents' nursery. My parents were driving through and they stopped by and they picked these up for me, and they knew I would appreciate that. So they're zone 4 through 8, so I don't know if they'll do well, but they're kind of in the shade, so hopefully they do okay. And then there's some scraggly rose bush weeds from a rose bush I took out of that area. So anyways, this is my crepe myrtle tree. It's absolutely gorgeous, bright pink in the summer. You can see that I put up some Christmas ornaments for it. And like I said, once it finishes dropping all its leaves, then I'll start cleaning up the rest of the leaves around the yard. But I'm going to wait until it's done so I don't have to do it twice. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for letting me talk to you. Thank you for coming to my garden. And I hope you enjoyed my front yard garden tour. And next, I will do my cutting flower garden tour and my backyard. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.